Wow, this place is incredible. Look at all these books. I could stay in here forever.
Skylanders of the magic element are strong.
I think I found a book about the...
Before creating the portals, centuries later, in the age of the Portal Masters, the Skylanders had become the greatest champions the world had ever known. No enemy or debris could stand. Suddenly, tremors and aftershocks rumbled throughout the land. Some great evil was being conjured in the arcane keep of the Spellpunks. The devious Spellpunks had unearthed the very same cursed relic that had allowed the darkness into Skylands centuries ago. The Dark Rift Engine. The Spellpunks had to be stopped before they could use its power to awaken the darkness. But the way to the Citadel had grown treacherous. Danger sprang from the shadows. The Spellpunks were drawing magic from the Dark Rift Engine, feeding power to the darkness. The Skylanders fought their way through the danger, charging into the mouth of the Spellpunk Keep. But then, without warning, all of Skylands began to quake. And a wave of fear swept over the land as a great and terrible shadow erupted from the keep.
I had always heard that it was the ancients who let the...
Hey, Skylander, look at this. You should try this.
As the power of the darkness grew, the marauding... This First Light Squadron took to the skies in defiance of all odds to meet this threat head-on. The darkness, underestimating our heroes, sent out a small group of fighters to crush them. And was sorely disappointed. The darkness, enraged at the squadron's continued success, brought more of its armada into the battle. But the First Light Squadron was undeterred. These enemies, too, would fall before the righteous might of these brave pilots. The Dark Forces were relentless in their attack. But the First Light Squadron was determined to destroy the Dark Galleon and cripple the Armada once and for all. The First Light Squadron dispatched these foes with authority and continued their quest.
Invincibility.
But the darkness was cunning and called forth the Dark Galleon to vanquish the squadron's hopes. Thus began the final charge of the First Light Squadron.
Shield regen. Invincibility.
The Armada of Darkness fell that day to a...
Now Now that was some serious flying. You see that, Sky?
Skylander, you gotta see this book. Looks like this one here to...
The War of the Darkness had nearly been...
Skylanders of the Dark
But
Element.
finding its location would be the most dangerous mission of them all. The darkness knew the core of light would be its end, and so it attacked. Its dark power was beyond comprehension. It shattered mountains and bridges with casual disdain. The darkness's rage was earth-shaking and all-consuming, for it knew that in order for its power to grow, the core of light must stay hidden. Undaunted, even in the face of this great evil, the Skylanders continued the quest. It called forth its evil servants to do its terrible bidding. The darkness grew desperate. Again and again it attacked with renewed fury. And then, after a long journey, the lost citadel of the Portal Masters had been reached. The radiant purity of the core of light had...
Wowzers! Looks like the darkness almost conquered Sky...
Dive Bomber.
Hey there, Skylander! Check this out! I'm not sure it'll help us much.
Servants of the darkness were known for keeping a... The Skylander, heedless of danger, dove into the shadowed and endless depths of the sea to face the Hydra. But the lair of this Hydra was fraught with peril, danger, and exploding proximity mines. But the Hydra was not the only dangerous creature in this deep sea. Ravenous Hydra hatchlings hid, coiled in the rocks, and would strike without warning. The fabled fracture fish of Foul Falls swam these waters briefly. Ever deeper into the abyss the Skylander traveled. Finally, the Skylander descended into the lair of the Hydra. There was the pilfered food. Without hesitation, the Skylander snatched up the food. The sea rumbled and quaked as the Hydra woke. The heads of the Hydra lashed out in rage. The Skylander was cornered. Until a secret passage out of the lair was revealed. The Skylander sped away. This food was too important to risk. Faster and faster the Skylander swam. But the Hydra's speed was incredible. It churned the water into a swirling foam, gaining and gaining on the Skylander. But just up ahead, that geyser, could it? It could! The various and many jaws of the Hydra snapped.
Gosh and golly, that was some story, Skylander. I bet the next book is gonna be even more exciting than...
Hot streak.
Oh, hi, Skyland.
The forces of good had discovered the hidden location. The Skylanders sped into action. There was only one chance. An all-out attack to drive the darkness toward the core itself. But the darkness would not go easily. The darkness laid snares and traps for the Skylander. The Skylander, however, would not be halted. Desperate, the darkness unleashed its full power. Its dark might seared the sky, tearing across the land. Their battle echoed across all Skylands, trading blows that shattered islands in their wake. Inch by inch, it was pushed back until it was in range of the core. And then its glorious light filled the sky. With the core of light holding